What's good, y'all? What's good, Real Talk Squad? This is Miles, and you are listening to Real Talk with Miles Johnson, where you know we always keep it real. Let's get straight into it, man. It's Thursday, September 19th. The Eagles, they play this Sunday at 1 o'clock against who? The New Orleans Saints. Man, I ain't gonna lie to y'all, dog. I ain't gonna lie to y'all. I got no faith in the Eagles beating the Saints. I'll say it again. I got no faith. I got no faith the Eagles are going to beat the Saints. I got in an argument with some of my friends, and I was telling them, I was like, the Eagles, they're not going to beat the Saints. Oh, you flip flopping? Don't be hype when we win. No, here's what's going to happen. In the event we win the game, I'm going to credit the players that proved me wrong. And I'm not talking about the offense. It's the defense. I got no faith in the defense. So when I say that I don't believe the Eagles are going to beat the Saints, it's not about Jalen Hurts. It's not about Saquon Barkley. It's not about Devontae Smith. It's not about the Eagles' offensive line. It's the defense. What has Maya Angelou said? Her famous quote: when somebody tells you who they are, believe in them. We're not Cowboys fans. We don't go into every season, doesn't matter what happens, and think that we're getting to the Super Bowl. I would argue that we are rational, that we believe, hey, like if certain stuff happens, if they work out in our favor, yes. Now, yes, before the season started, did I believe that the Eagles are going to make it to the Super Bowl? Yes, I did. But did I believe that this defense would be this bad? Did I think that Bryce Huff would be this bad? Did I think that Nolan Smith would be this bad? Did I think that Brandon Graham at 36, all credit to him, that he would be our best pass rusher? Did I think that Thomas Booker off the bench would be more effective than all of our defensive linemen who start? No, I didn't think that. I didn't think that. So guess what? As an analyst, as somebody who's a journalist, as somebody who dissects each game, you have the right to change your pick based off of the new evidence that you see. It's not flip-flopping. It's showing, hey, I'm not a fan page. This ain't Real Talk, the fan page. It's Real Talk with MJ. And I'm going to keep it real. I'm going to keep it a stack. I'm going to keep it a beam. That's what it is. That's what it is. And I've heard people, look, I heard Colin Cowherd basically say, why are y'all panicking? Why are y'all panicking over the Eagles? Y'all almost beat the Falcons. Wasn't this the same talk last year, though? Remember, we were 10-1, but we all were saying, look, this offense, the play calling ain't that good. The defense in spots isn't that good. We said that. But we still won games. The difference this year is that we actually lost a game in the second week that we should have won. That's the only difference. Let me say it again. Let me try to break it down again. Last year, a lot of the Eagles' issues, we swept it under the rug, me included, because I was like, we're 10-1. We're undefeated. We're winning this game. We beat the Bills, beat the Chiefs, beat the Dolphins. But later on in the season, we got exposed for who we truly were. A top 5 offense and a bottom 5 defense. That's not a recipe to be a Super Bowl contender. Oh, not to mention that Nick Sirianni without Shane Steichen is a bum. So now we're going into this season. Week 1, the Eagles could not get to the passer. Even going into the Falcons game, I gave the Eagles defensive line the better. I was optimistic about them. I gave them the benefit of the doubt. I said, look, maybe that field was slippery. Everybody was falling. I'm going to give the defensive line the benefit of the doubt. But then you face Kirk Cousins. You face Kirk Cousins, and the guy can't move. The guy can't run at all. He's missing throws. He had a wide open Ray McLeod. He looks right at Drake London. That would have been a touchdown in the first quarter. Troy Aikman called that right there. So you're playing a Kirk Cousins who's not at 100%. And then at the end of the game, you still can't stop him when it matters most. That's a problem. In the second straight game, you can't get to the quarterback. That's a problem. Bryce Huff being a no-show, that's a problem. This is not a fan page that goes ahead and doesn't look at the big acquisition of Bryce Huff and says, oh yeah, no, it's cool, we'll get it together. No, he can't even beat tight ends or running backs. And then when I look at Bryce Huff's stats in his career, outside of him getting 10 sacks in his contract year when he was used as a utility guy on a loaded Jets defense, what has he done? He's had less than 5 sacks, less than 4 sacks in his first 2 years. Each of them. Talking about he's had less than 4 sacks his first year. He had less than 4 sacks his second year. It was only in his contract year that he broke out and had them 10 sacks in special situations on a great defense. But Bryce Huff has not shown us that he can be that number one guy like Hassan Reddick was. The only way I'm going to be optimistic of the Eagles moving forward is if Howie Roseman realizes he made a mistake in getting Bryce Huff and trading away Hassan Reddick, and hell, gets Hassan Reddick back. And I'll say this, I think Hassan Reddick should go back to Philly. He should be traded back to Philly. It's a win-win on both sides. I would rather trade for Hassan Reddick just to have him for this year and let him walk away. Because at least we're trying with this defensive line. At least we're trying. And for Hassan Reddick, that would be appealing because let's say Hassan Reddick comes back to the Eagles and he changes what we know of this defensive line to be. Let's just say Hassan Reddick makes his defensive line formidable again. That makes his stock go up. I would assume that he will be in line for a big payday if he was known as the guy that turned this defense around. So I would encourage Howie Roseman to get on the phone with Joe Douglas and get Hassan Reddick back. And then I would tell Hassan Reddick, hey, if you're able to turn around this Eagles defense, oh my gosh, you're going to be in line for a big payday, brother. Because I don't know who can turn around this Eagles defense. It's not good. It's not good. And the Eagles defense isn't good with everybody essentially being healthy. I know Isaiah Rodgers hasn't played, and so the secondary, it should be better. But overall, our linebackers, defensive line, everybody is essentially healthy. So if the Eagles defense already isn't that good with everybody healthy, and we're very thin in terms of depth, what's going to happen, God forbid, knock on wood, that somebody gets injured like last year? Oh my gosh. Remember when we got Shaquille Barrett or Zach Cunningham? Oh my, it was disgusting. Oh my gosh. So the point of this page is to keep it real. It's to keep it a stack. It's to keep it a beam. I wouldn't be doing my job if I'm telling y'all, oh yeah, the Eagles good. Oh yeah, it's just week 2. But I'll say, and I'll be a man of my word, if the Eagles beat the Saints, I will go out here, depending on how the game goes, because how I see it, the only way the Eagles beat the Saints is if the offense plays a perfect game. That's the only way. If that happens, I'm just gonna praise Jalen Hurts and Saquon Barkley. But it's not like I'm not praising them. I've been praising them. I know how nice this offense is. I just think it's kind of realistic to expect the Eagles offense to play a perfect game, no mistakes, against a formidable Saints defense. They ain't no scrubs. And plus, we don't have A.J. Brown. Now, I remember last week I said we don't need A.J. Brown to beat the Falcons. I stand by that. But I do believe we need A.J. Brown to beat the Saints. I do believe that. I'm trying to tell you, we're going to be in shootout. We're going to be in shootouts. And you're going to need Saquon to play amazing, which I believe he will. You're going to need Jalen Hurts to play better and not have any turnovers. I believe he will. But it's like, I don't believe that you can expect, and it's unrealistic to be like, yeah, they're going to play perfect game. It could go really good or really bad. I'm leaning towards really bad. I am. And I know that it'll be people that say, Miles, you're flip-flopping, but you have to at least be objective when you have a platform and be like, look, this is what I saw. This is what I see from a Saints team who, under Clint Kubiak, I mean, is scoring some of the most points we've ever seen in the first 2 weeks. The only way it doesn't go really bad is if this offense puts up 30 points. That's the only way. It's the only way. Calm down. It's too early in the season. Things will change. I want you to answer this question. What can change with the defense? Do you when you say things will change, do you expect Bryce Huff to be Hassan Reddick? Do you believe that? Do you believe Nolan Smith will be better? Now, I think he'll be better than what he has shown. But do you expect him to be like our second best edge rusher? Consistently get to the quarterback? I mean, we had a running back deck cuz. I hope y'all seen that, John. The secondary, I mean, they got cooked when you needed them most to get a stop. Cincinnati 0-2. Fans should be scared. Eagles will be fine. Only 1-1. I believe the Eagles will make the playoffs. I believe that. But Super Bowl, I don't believe that. I don't believe that. But the only saving grace, the only thing that's saving us right now are the injuries to the 49ers, are the injuries to the Packers with Jordan Love and him not being 100%, is the Lions not playing up to expectation. It's the fact that the Cowboys are the Cowboys. And I'll say this, although I do respect the Saints this weekend, they haven't earned my respect to make a playoff run, or the Bucks either. They haven't. So I'll say, like, it's not like it's a heavy juggernaut that's 100% healthy playing amazing in the NFC right now. I'll say that. I agree with that. The only difference between this year and last year is that we're seeing our major flaws early on. versus last year we started winning early and it was like, oh, we good, blah blah blah. We still winning. Shannon Sharp said something that I agree with. He said, don't take the same stuff that you would in a win that you would in a loss. Let's be honest, y'all. If the Eagles won that game against the Falcons, and I'm not going to lie, I would be probably the main culprit. I would be saying Saquon's like that, Hurts is like that. I would be going crazy, and I would not really focus on our weaknesses. I'd be like, we 2-0, we undefeated. The 49ers, they lost. The Cowboys, they lost. The Ravens, they lost. They haven't won a game. The Bengals, they lost. They haven't won a game. The Lions, they lost. So I would be popping and I would be talking, but because we lost, it actually is a blessing in disguise to show us our deficiencies. Cincinnati 0-2, Eagles 1-1. Which one worse? My brother, you gotta be better with your spelling, please. Cincinnati being 0-2 versus the Eagles being 1-1. Cincinnati being 0-2. Look, was it a bad loss against the Patriots week 1? Yeah. But they also played a great game against the Chiefs. And context always matters. I mean, you talk about they almost won if it wasn't for a PI. And that you could argue, do you call that in that moment or do you let them play out? Because at the same time, it was like Avonte Maddox, he didn't had a PI. If that was against the Chiefs, I mean, what is he talking about? You feel what I'm saying? So if I was the Bengals, I would be more confident than if I wasn't the Eagles. Because I would still be like, T. Higgins ain't here. Jamar Chase missed a lot of training camp. Now he's getting acclimated, all of that. Our defense ain't trash. Now it's also a conversation. Would you rather be the Eagles and have a great offense but a trash defense? Or would you rather be the Steelers with a great defense but a trash offense? Let me know. I would rather have the Eagles with a great offense and a trash defense. I would rather have that. But that's essentially where the Eagles are. It's like you're gonna be kind of in that Steelers kind of like category where it's like, you're going to lose games because of your defense. Same way how the Steelers, once they play formidable opponents, they're going to lose games because they simply can't score enough points. Go Birds, though. Go Birds. But look, I don't want to be Debbie the Downer, but I just want to tell y'all what to expect. Again, let me know, comment down below. Let me know what you would expect in this Eagles game. Do you expect them to go ahead and beat the Saints? And if you do, I need to know what you see in this Eagles team that they can bounce back from a loss like they did against the Falcons, and what you think they can do to win. I'll say it right now, and then y'all comment down below what y'all think. What they can do to win is through the offense. Saquon Barkley and this offense has to control the time of possession. You have to let this defense be on the field the least amount of time as possible. That's facts. You don't want them on the field at all. So that's one thing there. Obviously, Jalen Hurts, although I'm not going to blame him for that turnover. Being objective, was that the best decision? No. I just can't bring myself to criticize Hurts for that turnover against the Falcons because we should have never been in that position to begin with. but Hurts definitely has to just take care of the football. I'm looking for Dallas Goedert and Jahan Dotson to be involved in the offense. I think it's malpractice that A.J. Brown is out and you don't use Dallas Goedert. That is malpractice. I'm looking at Kellen Moore. I'm looking at Jalen Hurts. I'm looking at Nick Sirianni, who has said he's not in this offense. I don't believe that. I don't believe that. But I'm looking at Dallas Goedert to show us why he is a top 7 tight end in this game, which I believe he is. And he has the full capability to go ahead and show us why he is still an explosive weapon and has always been the security blanket for Jalen Hurts since his rookie year, since he first got to the league. Jahan Dotson, he has talent. I'm not okay with giving him 1 reception for 6 yards when A.J. Brown's out. That's insane to me. I'm sorry, Braden Covey. I appreciate what you have done. 6 receptions, 23 yards. I appreciate what you have done. But, let's not act like it's insane to have Britton Covey have more receptions than Jahan Dotson and Dallas Goedert combined. That is insane to me. Insane to me. You have to get those guys involved. Yes, Devontae Smith is going to get his touches. He's going to go off. I believe that. He is a number 1 wide receiver on many teams in this league. But it can't just be the Devontae, Saquon, and Jalen show. We have to spread the ball around. We have to. We have to. That's my biggest issue with the offense, is that we are too reliant on Saquon. We're too reliant on Devontae. We're too reliant on Jalen to make superhero, superhuman plays. We need to get Dallas Goedert and Jahan Dotson more involved. Why the hell are these guys on the team if they aren't used in the passing game consistently? It doesn't make any sense. This is the perfect time to boost the confidence of Jahan Dotson, because when A.J. Brown comes back, he ain't finna get no touches. That's just how our offense works. We're not finna get no touches to Jahan Dotson. Not with A.J. Brown. But maybe if Jahan Dotson gets some opportunities, then we can go ahead and trust him more when A.J. Brown comes back. So those are the keys to victory. The offense has to spread the ball around. Bryce Huff has to show us how we gave him $51 million. This defensive line, in addition, can have Brandon Graham as their most effective pass rusher, or Thomas Booker. I need Jalen Carter to show us why he was a rookie of the year candidate, a defensive rookie of the year candidate last year. I need Jordan Davis to go ahead and turn up. I need Nakobe and Zach Vaughn to turn up. I need this secondary with Slay, who owes us one, with Quinyon Mitchell, who got cooked on that final drive, with Reed Blankenship, who I think played very, very well, with CJ Gardner-Johnson, who has been having missed tackle after missed tackle. I appreciate his stop on Bijan Robinson, but those missed tackles in back-to-back weeks for touchdowns with Jalen Reed and who was it? Darnell Mooney. I mean, come on. We can't. It doesn't matter what type of scheme you have. If you can't make a tackle, it's nothing you can do. So my last thing, let's go ahead and give our predictions for the NFL this season. Well, for week 3. I'm about to give it out right here. I'm about to give it out right here, y'all. All right, boom. Patriots versus Jets. I got the Jets in a close game, low-scoring game to get the win. Giants versus Browns. I got an upset. I know I'm an Eagles fan, but I got the Giants pulling it off and upsetting Deshaun Watson and company. The Bears versus Colts. The Colts' run defense is god-awful. I expect DeAndre Swift to go off. I got the Bears pulling it off. Texans versus Vikings. I know Sam Darnold has had a Cinderella-esque run these past 2 weeks, but I think CJ Stroud puts that to bed. Give me the Texans to beat them. Y'all know Eagles versus Saints. It hurts me to say this, bro. It hurts me to say this, but I have the Saints beating the Eagles, bro. It's real talk. I keep it a bean. I keep it a stack. The Saints are playing better. Chargers versus Steelers. I have the Steelers with a not 100% Justin Herbert getting the win, improving to 3-0. Broncos versus Buccaneers. Come on, the Broncos are not a good football team. Give me the Buccaneers. And Packers versus Titans. Give me the Packers. I do not trust Will Levis. And yes, this Titans defense is decent, but come on now. Give me the Packers on that one. Panthers versus Raiders. Andy Dalton's first game as a starter for the Panthers. Give me Andy Dalton, and he will show why, yes, the Panthers are a bad organization, but Bryce Young is very bad. I like the Panthers to pull off the upset. Dolphins, Seahawks. Give me the Seahawks. I believe the Seahawks will beat the Dolphins, and obviously there are weapons that the Dolphins have, but not having Tua Tagovailoa, I mean, what more can you do? Give me the Seahawks and that. Lions, Cardinals. And I might just do like a 5 bet or like a 4 bet, 3 bet. Now, this is my favorite bet of the week, the over on this. The Lions and Cardinals game is going to be high scoring for sure. I got the Lions to pull this off. I think that Aiden Hutchinson will be a major player in this game. Give me the Lions in a shootout. Ravens versus Cowboys. Now, y'all know me. I don't like the Cowboys and the Ravens. I said that they won't make the playoffs. My goodness, that they won't make the playoffs. So here's what I'll say. I think the Ravens beat the Cowboys. I think they do. I don't see the Ravens, even though I don't have them going to the playoffs. I don't have them losing and going 0-3. That would be insane. And let's keep it a stack. The Ravens could go ahead and be 0-5. But yeah, give me the Ravens to beat the Cowboys. I think Derrick Henry goes off. He shows the Cowboys why y'all should have got me in free agency. I got a crib in Dallas. That was on y'all. Give me the Ravens. 49ers versus Rams. Sean McVay, he has Kyle Shanahan's number every single time. Give me the Rams in that one for the upset. Chiefs versus Falcons. Look, the Chiefs defense is miles better than the Eagles defense. And so I believe the Chiefs defensive line will terrorize Kirk Cousins all night. Give me the Chiefs, especially with Mahomes playing a very, very subpar game versus the Bengals. I believe he will step up again. I like the Chiefs to win by a sizable margin. Bills, Jags. I like the Bills in that one. I'm not too high on Trevor Lawrence. I think he's very, very overrated. I don't trust their offensive line. I think the Bills defense will feast. I like Josh Allen to have some magic Monday night. Last game of the week, Bengals versus Commanders. I like the Bengals to go ahead and get their first win of the season. I think Jaden Daniels will keep improving, but I think that it's just come on. We talking about the Bengals, man. I think the Bengals get their first win of the season. Let me know y'all picks down below. Let me know y'all picks. And with all that being said, is Real Talk with MJ, where y'all know we always keep it real. And tell your friends to like, comment, subscribe, do all that jazz. Show some love to the channel, to Real Talk Squad. Man, I love y'all. We out.